And she goes like, newbie, are you ready? Because I'm going to rag you and bully you. And I was just like, I have 3 brothers, bring it on.
Hello everyone, welcome to PeepingMoon.com. I'm Rashita, Sahni, and today joining me for a super fun and interesting conversation is Avantika Dassani, who's all set for her grand debut in Mithya. Hi Avantika, how have you been?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I've been good, happy, healthy, safe. I think that's what anyone can ask for right now. How have you been doing?
Great as well. I think that's what matters the most right now in these uncertain times. But, Avantika, I saw this special trailer docket of the show. And I must say, to make a debut with a show like this one, which is complicated, your character has so many layers in it. Like in the first 1 minute, I see something different. Then I see something, okay, now this is something completely different that's happening. You tell me, how was it for you? Because, as they say, it's not that conventional debut that we call, and we are, of course, moving way ahead of it. I'm glad we are. You tell me your take on it.
So thank you so much, first of all, for that response, because that's exactly what I've been going for. And that was one of the reasons that I chose Mithya as my debut or my starting project into the industry. The whole idea was to have something that would help me make my mark, set me apart, I understand it's unconventional and it's risky, but that's what makes it so exciting, right? In today's times when we have content being king, stories and characters being king, I think it's really important as actors for us to be choosing projects that help us further that within the industry and give audiences what they're really looking for. Frills don't work as much anymore, and it's all about the writing, it's about the stories, and that's exactly what excited me about this character. Instead of being a question mark that you want to play a great character for your first project, it was one of the pros for me. Something super exciting as an actor that I could take on, challenge myself, surround myself with an incredibly talented cast and crew of people. So honestly, it was a no-brainer.
Fantastic. And as you mentioned about the gray character, I know it's a risky choice. Many would call that, but you perfectly mentioned you wanted to challenge yourself. Now, what are the challenges as such that you faced? Because I know a lot of people might get, a little tensed or pressurized about it if it's their first project and it is yours.
I think my objective essentially was that when you're surrounded by such a talented set of people who for a fact are going to be able to do justice to their part, who are going to bring their A game no matter what. As a newcomer, as someone who's getting to play such an integral role in this story, it was important for me to be able to do that as well. For me to be able to make sure that every single day I come in well prepared. I come in ready to experiment, to try on new things. And also remember the fact that this is my first time. I'm going to make mistakes and I'm going to learn. I'm going to go through that whole process. And, you're not necessarily going to nail something in the very first go of it. But to be open-minded and to be like a sponge around all of these people and constantly take in the fabulous energy and, very important things that they could teach me. Whether it was Huma or Rajit sir or, Rohan sir, everybody's inputs constantly for me to be able to take it in the most positive way, whether it was criticism or it was, even their encouragement for me to remain grounded throughout and not let it affect my day-to-day performance.
Okay. And how was it sharing screen space with Huma? Now, you two are like two strong women, pitted against each other. And she, experience-wise, she's of course much older in terms of acting also. Were you ever sort of intimidated also on set?
No, not at all. She's such a fun person to be around, and she really, really made it very comfortable for me. So we actually have a little fun story over here. So the very first time we met at Goldie Sir's office, I was sitting in the room alone at that point of time. They had just stepped out for a moment, and that very moment, Huma entered the room. And she was like, "Hi, I'm Huma," and I was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Avantika." And she goes like, "Newbie, are you ready? Because I'm gonna rag you and bully you." And I was just like, "I have 3 brothers. Bring it on." So, it kind of just set the tone for our relationship. And we were both in that zone, I think, from the very get-go. And, her response to this was, "I like you." So I think it really set that space. I was also someone who constantly went to her for advice. I went to her because I know and I understand and I love her work. So she is someone that I look up to. So the idea was that I should utilize this opportunity as much as I can, get advice from her, constantly learn from her. So that was the equation that we shared. And she was super, super encouraging, super supportive, would call me out when required, and would also like put me in my place and remind me that, come on. And I was just like, okay, I got this. Whenever I needed that little bit of push and encouragement. So she's fabulous. She's such a giving actor also to, share screen space with. So that was always an interesting combination for us, because we would always get something interesting out of the scene, which was unexpected when we, did a dry read, for example.
I'm sure it had been. And also talking about your character, Riya Rajguru, now, was it difficult to sort of detach yourself from the, emotionally from the character once you were done shooting?
That's interesting. So, I mean, it has been a little bit of a process, I won't lie. Again, another interesting thing that happened was I created certain emotions for myself and for my interactions with the characters on screen. And a lot of times I would, as a newcomer who's still, learning the process of things, I would kind of get overwhelmed by that. And even when we were taking shots and scenes, there were some emotional reactions, which as actors, we love it because it's intuitive. It's something that just comes to you and it's instinctive. So, you get really excited. But when you're shooting for a show, you have multiple angles and this and that, and you have to learn to conserve your energy and you have to do all of those things. So there was a time where I would get emotionally impacted by the scenes that I was working with Param or Huma. And it wasn't Avantika reacting, but very much Riya reacting. And Huma saw me and she realized that. So when we were having a break between scenes, she sort of told everyone to go out of the room. She sat me down. She's like, "What's up? What's going on? Tell me." And I was just like, this is happening and this is how I'm feeling. And, she was someone who really pushed me and helped me understand the process and, detach myself in that scene and that space, understanding that you can't let this, get to you as much. You have to be able to draw those lines and detach yourself from your character. So even when we had breaks between scenes or when we were off set per se, we would be having a blast and having so much fun that by the end of the show, by the end of shooting for us, our schedule, it become much easier for me to detach from Riya and stay true to Avantika.
Fantastic. Okay. And talking about, I'm sure, Avantika, by now you know about these tags that have been given to people who belong to a filmy background. They're called star kids. Abhimanyu has also gone through the same thing. You tell me, how do you take this tag as, and do you take any sort of added pressure because of it?
I think it's a milieu of emotions when it comes to this, because as any newcomer, whether you come from a filmy background or you don't, it's such an overwhelming time. You're so grateful for the opportunity that you've got, that millions want. Millions are working very, very hard towards. And when I auditioned for this role, when I got the part, I went to my mom and I was like, "I got it." And she's like, "Great, which one?" Because I had auditioned for a couple of projects together, So the excitement and the hard work or the gratitude towards these things, I feel, are the same. They don't vary in that sense. If anything, I personally, not speaking for anyone else, but I personally feel a lot of it and a lot more of it because I've seen my brother, I've seen my mother. So I've seen their journey, and it's very important to respect the craft and respect the people that you work with. And that's something that I've learned for them because I see them do it day in and day out. And the joy that they get when they've had a good day of work, the fulfillment that they feel at the end of that. So I definitely come with that sense of gratitude because I've seen them have it for years. So I know what it feels like to have that. I've also seen my brother go through a lot to get his work out there. I've been through the process myself. I've been auditioning for a very long period of time. I've had projects that have come my way, but none of them set me as excited and set my heart on fire the way Mithya and Riya did. So I understand and I'm aware about the sort of advantages that come with this place, this thing that I was born with, my name and who I was born to. But that doesn't make me any less grateful, any less excited, any less hardworking than anybody else. And I'm here because I love the craft. I love what I do. I'm very, very passionate about it. And I hope my choices, my roles, and my work speak for itself.
I'm sure they will. And that's honestly such a right and incredible way to put it in. So yeah, glad you said that.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Also, talking about this legacy, now you are of course aware of it. I remember when Abhimanyu made his debut, there were several articles that called him Bhagyashree's son, ya Bhagyashree ka beta. A lot of time took कि सिर्फ अभिमन्यु का नाम सामने आए, that Abhimanyu Dassani and doing this. Now I'm sure that is what will happen, or it shouldn't, but it might happen with you also for a short period of time. Now you have this legacy to also take ahead. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, I'm extremely proud of my mom. I'm extremely proud of my brother. I don't have any problems being called Bhagyashree's beti and Abhimanyu ki behan because that's who I am. So I'm very, very proud to be that, and I have no problems with it. I obviously want to make my own identity. I want people and audiences to relate to me and enjoy my work for my work and nothing else. But at the same time, I'm very proud of where I come from. So I don't see that as a bad thing. And both of them have worked very hard to be able to earn those titles and those names and that sort of respect, So to get or receive any of that, I'm grateful for it. I don't see it as a problem. But yes, of course, I'd love to make my own identity. And hopefully very soon she will be known as Avantika's mother and Avantika's brother.
So cute. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Avantika, for joining in. All the very best for Mithya. I'm personally looking forward to seeing the show and
Thank
seeing
you so much. It was lovely speaking to you.